yield pretty good? Does it keep rolling?
Yeah,
we have had issues with their generator with rats.
Yeah, this one is high enough that they can't, you know, there's no really way for them to crawl up in here. This one should be rodent free. In fact, for that, I'm not seeing anything that would cause a. They could, yeah, that's just too much for them to jump. Yeah, there's no way for them to get it. Yeah, it's sealed. It does have that seal all the way around it, so there's no way for them to get. Did you see a little rubber? Yeah. The front and back has got a rubber membrane inside of it. And you guys know that this is a pusher fan, so it sucks air in from that back of the generator, pull it, push it out the front, and then it has it up duct that shoots here, straight up the front. Going on the other side, the doors are open. Be careful when you, again, whenever you know, if this thing's been running, don't take the radiator cap off. You know, I think it's got a viewable sight glass up there. Okay, how often do you guys want to do your walk around? Probably a good idea just to get used to it, you know. It's got a battery charger here. This is the DC circuit right here, and the AC circuit. If ever they're servicing them, they need to be shut off and then turned back on in reverse order. The circuit here is powered up by that panel back here. We'll look at that panel back here. There's a transformer, a panel back there for it. And it's fed from where, Lane? Where is that transformer fed from?
What voltage is it?
I think it's a 480 because it's a step down transformer.
Somewhere there in the electrical building, I'm sure.
We'll make sure that breaker's identified, and then.
I'm pretty sure I know where it's at, but I'll double check.
Okay. And then again, here's that block heater here. Like I said, you'll hear it come on and off. Well, it sounds like it's a small coffee maker. It's a 1500 watt immersible, 120 volt. It just feeds coolant in from the bottom, and then the hot coolant goes on the top, and everything in that block on the lower half of the thermostat stays nice and warm. That's how it's at 90 degrees. It does have a sight glass up there, so you can see the coolant. No need to pull the cap off unless you know you're doing a maintenance, you know, where it's in this time to check the radiator cap, make sure it hasn't rotted or it's leaking. Single fan belt with a tensioner. Here's the capacity in the fuel tank. 660 gallons. Plain exhaust system, you know, turbo in, turbo out. This battery charger has a heat sink cooling system on it, so it's got that little fan that comes on. All it does is blow enough to cool that little heat sink in there. Double wall tank. So if any time there's a leak in the outer tank, you'll get a rupture basin alarm, same as a low fuel. So they start coming in about the same time. You need to check to make sure that rupture basin doesn't have fuel in it. This has got one of those spill port tank fills, so whoever fills it has got to have the proper bung for putting it in there and filling it. This one is the drain, yeah, the oil pan drain. Radiator drain right here. Cooling system filter. That usually doesn't get changed for about a few years. What they'll do is they take samples of the cooling system and make sure that the DCA, the content in the engine. The cooling system's got a dry chemical additive that they put into it. The factory does to keep electrolytes and to keep warming and keep the O-rings lubricated in the fuel in the cooling system. So that usually gets checked with dipsticks, and they just pretty much keep that in check, so it meets that specifications for the engine.
What's the run time?
Right now it's got 12 hours on it. So you should see your 12, 13, 14 hours a year.
No, I mean, how long could it run?
Oh, on this tank? Typically what they'll do is they'll size this generator for 72 hours at full load. So at full load, it would run that full kW, it should burn, it should last 72 hours. But again, once it gets to half tank, you'll get your alarm anyways. At half tank, you'll get your alarm to get you plenty of time to get a hold of a vendor. And you can come out and you guys are not too far from some of the vendors that are out here on the west side. Western Fuel and all. And now, looking at back there behind you, look at that thing. Little latches right here, kind of nice. At least they won't slam your legs. This is your main breaker here. This is straight on the ground, so any issues with that. You know, some flashing probably wouldn't be a bad idea on that back. See it up against the wall right there? They can get underneath a crack like that, so maybe just put some flashing down. That'll keep it rodent out for sure.
Or we could just caulk it or something.
Yeah, I'll caulk it, yeah, absolutely. Whichever one. That'll for sure keep that.
Just right there on that bottom edge right there?
Yeah, very, very bottom edge of their lane.
Perfect.
That'll be 100%. That breaker has got to be.
I'll take care of that, Danny.
If you've ever seen it this position here.
Is that just on this end, Ray?
Pardon?
Just on this end? Or probably on both?
I would do them both.
Okay. 10-4.
You know how they are, they like the warm weather, you know, so yeah, whenever it gets cold, then they see that. You ever see the trip position? Where it's in that like that? You guys know breakers more than anybody else. You guys have lots of motors and stuff like that. There's usually an issue with either the equipment or if this generator ever goes into overload, it will trip that breaker also. But it'll also give you the alarm for the generator. Make sure that what you're looking at is not use the generator into overload. Just that. There's no tag in here, Lane, for the identification on
Okay.
what the breakers are.
Okay. Those all 120 volt breakers?
Yes. This top one right might be 208.
Gotcha.
It looks like it says MCC2 P625 or 652.
Okay.
So that's where it comes from. That takes care of this end of it, guys. Fuel burn. Try and follow which one falls into that category, you know. If you didn't have it long ago, try to either put the oil in it, take oil samples, but probably the first year take an oil sample and put the oil in it. I would definitely have 1 year change the oil. Troubleshooting, a lot of it, it's a 1 year warranty on it, so breakdown on that, tells you what's covered, what's not, from year to year, from 1 year, year in hand, it's just pretty much covered. Now we're going to approach the part where we did a manual run on it on the unit, you can stand away from and look at it. This is the same with this one. Please regard any of the danger hazards that are involved here. You're looking at a potential here, that could be lethal to anybody. Lane knows we work around this stuff all the time. They got to work with stuff all the time. We're inside this stuff. So be careful if you guys work around motors and all this sort of stuff. Be very cautious. You don't want them, if you're ever in doubt, don't even touch it. There's nothing worth, you getting hurt. Losing a fingernail for that matter. You guys know. So be very cautious. What we're looking at here is just the transfer itself. It's going to show us what voltages are, line to line. Same as that control for this. It's going to show us line to line, that's normal power, the green. The amber is a generator. And that's what it'll look like when it's connected to the generator. These lights will be out. So, the test on it, if you wanted to do a test on it, hold up a couple seconds, and then we're going to go to a 1 second timeout. Start. It will be available. Push it again. Keep that log. It'll keep it as an event. As you can see right here. More events. But now start with it. Go after it. Keep it. Put it later on the start of it. That's the crossover. Last time it started when they were to start up. 30. This is a 24-hour clock, so when you look at these clocks, you know that they're set up for 24 hours. Military style. Utility comes in on where? Utility voltage comes in to the top of the switch from where? From outside?
Oh yeah, from the outside at the SES. Yeah, it's right. They know where it's at. It's on the south end of the existing building.
Okay. There's a breaker over there?
Correct.
Okay. There's a main breaker over there. That's where it's fed from. The top of the switch is fed from. I'm not really sure how much of this stuff you guys have, but it's definitely worth having in your trucks. If ever you're going to be inside one of these switches, I'm not sure if you guys get into them or not. These are kits for solar rangers. I'm not sure whenever you guys work on your motors or stuff like that. You de-energize, check, lock out, tag out, and all that stuff, yeah. And this is part of the procedure whenever you're out here at night, power's off, you call somebody, hey, this thing's going to be out, it's been off for a half hour, whatever we can do. If you don't have this suit, the only other way to do it is to lock out, tag out, and make sure that there's no voltages anywhere, but you still want to make sure there's no potential in there. The generator's off. Again, locked out, tag out, we'll do a few stops. We're going to run these with the carrying rod. We gotta check every quarter and fix them out all the time. But if you're ever in here, this is what it looks like. And that's what it looks like, when it's in its normal position, that's what it is, right there. When it's opposite, it's going to look exactly opposite of that right there. It will be with that rod moving down, and then we'll inside of it and back down. Like I said, either you wear this, and like I said, it's midnight, it's raining outside, no one you know, you've got the generator off, you've got the utility breaker off, there's no power in here. The way to manually switch this is you've got to turn that to the off position. That's going to be off. This has to go to the center position, then that will go down. You shut your door, start the generator, close the breaker on it, and then you can connect to it. When it's not an auto, the generator is not an auto, that's what you're going to get. It's telling you it's not an auto. That can be used in that position. I don't know if you want to switch it after, switch it that way when the utility does return. If the utility returns, it's going to want to go back to it. It's going to want to go back to that line source because the green source is the preferred source for one. It is the preferred source. And it will go back to it if it's very important. Then feel free to call me if you have any questions about your mechanic. That one more time, you know, when the monsoon comes and you wipe everything out and pull it down or whatever, and put it set up or whatever, make sure you call us, you know, and walk through having to go through a test like that. You can switch the exercise time anytime you want also. On this, you just set up right here. Go to more, and then you go to time right there. There's a clock right there. So I changed my thing, it'll keep that password. There's 574. So it's a common password to all of it. On the submittals, they all have them. My lady has all submittals to hand over to them at the time. And it's pretty cool. It tells you date, time. Disable the daylight savings time. We don't change that one. Home page again takes you to where you want to look at. You want to look at generator, utility, as it is right there, the generator. This is pretty much a view only. You can see what's going on and what's happening in this time. At least it's a secure building. You don't have to keep locked. You want you to get in there anyways, right? It's locked. Your PLC over there, it's tell you everything. Other than doing an outage test, we can look at this work. How do you want to do it?